What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Showdown Breakdown Super Bowl special. Where my turds at? We're going to look at the big game showdown, Draftkings and Fanduel, all the angles we need, MVP, captain. I've got the GOATs with me. Tom Brady ain't got nothing on these two. Bobby Millions, DFS up north. We're going to break it all down for you. We're going to hang out. Blue Moon's up. Let's do this thing Players Club style. Oh, shit. It's Chief ST, a.k.a. The Geek, and Kenyon McGee, DFS Army, Players Club VIP. Motherfuckers, let's do this. Yo, me and my homies, we're tighter than a glove. We chop a lot of game, how we do it at the Players Club. Check the fool or kick it in the tub, cause we kick much ass at the Players Club. It's time to kick it with the Army crew. VIP, you know how we do. Gonna smash the cop, make them look like bitches. In our pocket, we'll possess mad riches. Winning cash is our forte. When we smash a daily fantasy, gather that cream, gonna get a tune. Living that dream, drinking Blue Moon. Yo, we make lineups differentiate between cash and GPP where we correlate. Ask me about the lineup, I'll say it looks great. All about that love, I ain't trying to hate. Yo, people ask what BobbyWOW would do. Fade the chalk, I unfriend you. More money for your bankroll. Stick to the script and make your pocket swole.
Since Geek's first week sneak peek lines, y'all can see where we headed. If y'all have any other DFS coaches, y'all need to dead them. Yep, this season your boys are back on the block. Helmets, casket, the top. Yeah, same old shit. Yeah, chicks love the boys in the VIP. Saying, hey, Poppy, we so B.I.G. It's Players Club, exclusive, DFS Army.
Right, that's how we do it. Motherfuckers, we out. All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. It is the Super Bowl special, and it's our last one of the year. I'm super excited. Bobby, how you doing, my man? How you feeling over there? You ready for this?
Man, it's so good to be back with the triumvirate, if you will. Feels great.
Big vocab today. Big vocab.
The triumvirate back together again. We got the GPP master himself, DFS up north in the house. I thought you were back in your backyard ice skating or something.
I saw Kanger said that too. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been busy. I'm back. I'm excited. I haven't been around for a players club in a while. I usually fast forward and get to like the good stuff, and I missed the new intro. Like, I mean,
unbelievable that you've been skipping the intro.
I usually I love you, Geek, but sometimes you get a little long at the beginning of these things, and I just want to get to the good stuff.
It is true. I do tend to do a long intro. And listen, call me guilty. One of the beautiful things about not watching live is you can always fast forward.
Fast forward it.
You know, if you see me just, until the screen comes on, a lot of times you might not know.
Yeah, that's what I do. I fast forward until I can see your screen share, and then I'm good.
Yes. Now, guys, before we get into the breakdown, I want to say today's breakdown, the Showdown special, is actually sponsored by Thrive Fantasy. And I spoke to the folks over at Thrive. Okay, that's a prop site, one of the prop game sites that we love to play. And it's my favorite one, of course, because they're sponsoring the show. But I spoke to them, and they've set up something really awesome. So I'm going to throw this up on screen because I want to show you what we've done with these guys. So they have this awesome contest, the $25 Super Bowl LVI 100K guarantee, right? First of all, this will not fill. There's going to be there is going to be overlay galore in this. And I just want to show you how this type of contest works. But more importantly, the deal from these guys is any deposit whatsoever for a new member, aside from a $100 deposit match, if you're not signed up here, they're also giving you two $25 tickets to enter this contest. So essentially, you could put in $10 right now. You can go. You have to use promo code DFS Army. But if you put in even just $10, they will give you a match on your 10. So you get 20, good times, but also 2 entries into this $25 contest. And this is kind of how it works. You just pick a bunch of these props, and
it's super easy.
It's easy to play. You could just look at it like T. Higgins. I'm a big fan of T. Higgins this week. So I'll do the over. you know, when you pick the more likely ones, it gives you a little less points. The less likely ones, a little more points. So you just set up a team, you pick 10 of these props, and, you know, enter your lineup. It's very simple, very easy stuff. But the best part is, again, it's a fun game to play. And when you sign up with promo code DFS Army, you not only get 100% deposit match, which is, you know, that's awesome, but 2 tickets, 2, not 1, 2 to enter this contest. So check this out. Thrive Fantasy, promo code DFS Army. You guys will love it. The rare sponsorship.
They do a great. I love that site. Like it's like you said, it overlays a lot. Like the money, like money's good. I've withdrawn from there a bunch of times. It's super easy. Like I love playing there.
Yeah, I'm a fan as well. So yeah, really cool stuff. I just like the deals. I like deals. Like if you're going to give me 2 $25 tickets to a tournament for a $10 deposit, that's
Thanks.
like,
It's a deal.
You, by the way, we're going to talk about props at the end of this, but I'm like a whore for these props or for these sports books in my state. New York opened up legal.
So fun.
Of course I signed up for every book because if you a player, that's how we do it in the players. We don't sign up for one. You do them all.
And it's
right?
free money.
BobbyWOW knows what's up. Everyone.
I know.
And all I get is like free promos in the every day. It's like some email in the morning. And if I just had the time to take advantage of them, it's like, hey, if you bet the Knicks tonight, we'll give you $3 for every 3-pointer.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, oh, what? They usually hit like 12 3-pointers again. All right, I'll bet $20. You know, like there are all these little things that they do. So I love it. Loving having legal gambling. And Josh,
did you call yourself a whore for the deals?
I am a whore for the deals too. I just go to whatever they are. I do it.
Oh man,
I love them. I like it more. I don't care about the money. It's just about free shit, and I love getting free things.
So you must be a Coles Cash guy then.
You know what? Here's the problem with Coles. Let me get serious for a second. Here's the problem.
We're gonna start this pod off talking about Coles Cash.
Here's the problem with Coles Cash. There's nothing in Coles that I want. Nothing. It's the giant. I've gotten it before. And then I walk around the store for 3 hours. Like, I don't want any of this shit. Nothing. There's nothing in there. I'm like, they got sneakers, little New Balance. All right, I'll do that. Let's go. Dad shoes. I'll do the dad sneakers. There's nothing in the Kohl's I want. A waffle maker? I'm not into it. I already have an air fryer. I was
gonna say air fryer.
I have one.
Do you have the double? I got the double for Christmas. That's my
that's awesome. Yeah, like
Game
socks.
changer.
Like, what do you get? I walked around Kohl's for real with the Kohl's Cash for like 3 hours one day. I don't know what I want. I don't know. I got nothing. There's nothing here I want. It's free money. I was like, you know what, cashier? Give it to someone else.
Take this back.
Yeah, I don't want it. All right, we got the Super Bowl showdown breakdown coming up. By the way, I just want to show you the contest. FanDuel, all out. I don't care what your budget. Look at the max, by the way. You know, your boy already maxed all of these out, right? You want to play a $5 game, BobbyWOW? For $1 million?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what I'm in. You got to max the $5 contest. Regardless of what happens, you win this, you get called a 3-time Millie Maker winner. I don't care if you tie with 1,000 people. 3-time Millie Maker winner, Bobby Clinks. That'll be the third. It's happening here. But not only that, so you're like, hey, I don't want to spend that much money, right? Well, they've got a 56-cent game right here. I think this is it. LVI, snap 15K to first. Yep. Is that 56 cents for 15K to first?
Yep, I think so. That's that one is.
There are some other ones. There's another one. Hold on. What's this? A Hail Mary. Oh, that's the 56. The Hail Mary. All right. It's not as much.
They got a nickel one somewhere.
Yeah, and then there's a $3. So they have every price level that you're at. FanDuel obliges. You want to just play the 56-cent game? Put 150 in it. I recommend doing this above something like, buying a box. Buying a box you have no control over. It's the same price. Like you pay $25. Just fill. I just did really bad math. It's like $80. But nonetheless, you pay $100 for a box. Pay $100 and max out this tournament.
Yep.
So I love what FanDuel did. And, as we all know, FanDuel is kind of winnable. DraftKings, fewer options, not going to lie. But they did have a pretty nice $5 flea that I was able to do, a $3 one. There's a $15 contest. That's probably out of the budget range of a lot of people. But And I would assume there's a mini max or something like that on FanDuel DraftKings. I don't see that on my screen. So good stuff. Great contest. You're going to want to watch this game with rooting interests. Starting there.
Here's what I like. I like to watch the game with rooting interests that are for like, if I build 150, I'm rooting for a lot of things.
Yes.
Usually what we end up with is an edge play that we like or two.
Yep.
So it's just like, hey, as long as Zeke doesn't score a touchdown in this game,
We're in
you know,
good shape.
from any time Zeke has been on a showdown this season. I don't know what our edge play is going to be on this one, but we'll discover it as we break these games down. So let's just get right into it. There's a couple of injury situations that I want to talk about as we get to them because I think they're going to be critical. There are some matchup scenarios here that I think are important. And, you know, it's a ton of analysis of this game, so we could really get in depth. But let's just start with the basics here. We got the Bengals at the Rams, and, of course, Joe Burrow. Joe Cool. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. No? Bobby Clinks? No,
I like
good?
it. I like it.
Up north?
Yep.
That one? Burr for the coolness. All right, forget it. Joe Burrow's been looking good, but you know, man, they got lucky against the Chiefs. I felt like the Chiefs choked the second half of that game. I just felt like they choked it. That's my feeling. I thought the Bengals should have lost, but everybody loves the Bengals. Everybody's rooting for the Bengals. So what's the big thing we know about the Rams, guys? They have a player named Jalen Ramsey who tends to be pretty good at shutting down opposing wide receivers. Chase, Higgins, and Boyd, the trio of wide receivers for the Bengals, pretty much on the field the whole time. One nice thing about the Bengals team is we don't really have to worry about, you know, secondary turd wide receivers like Mike Thomas's and other guys popping up. It's going to be the three.
Yep.
And that's it. At tight end, CJ Uzomah, and this is one of the important, really important spots in this showdown. CJ Uzomah has not practiced as of today, as far as I know. Do you guys know anything different?
Yeah, I don't think he's practiced yet, right, Bobby?
He has, I don't know. He's declared himself in though. So he
ripped off
himself as playing.
He ripped off the knee brace at their like going away ceremony, held it in the air.
That's right. That's right.
So plans to play, but has not been practicing. And one thing I want to mention in this breakdown is, listen, it's the fucking Super Bowl. You're going to want to play in it. Even if you're hurt, you're going to tell your coach, I'm ready to go.
Right.
I'm ready. And then you're going to be in there. You could get hurt. So the re-injury risk for Uzomah, if he plays, I would put over 50%.
Wow.
Yes.
Possible.
Yeah, I would say that in conjunction with potentially being limited. So not playing the full complement of snaps for sure. 50%.
That's what I'm saying. Same difference to me, where you get him in the game, but he doesn't do much because he's kind of like gimpy a little bit. It hurts. So he plays a few snaps, but the main guy is Drew Sample. Drew Sample's turd city, but you know, okay. He becomes a usable turd potentially in this matchup. The last spot I want to talk about, you know, of course, the running back situation with Mixon and as the primary and P. Ryan as the guy who pretty much cost me winning any money last slate, right?
I mean,
you know,
right?
What do you do with that situation? I still think P. Ryan will get in the game for snaps.
Yeah. Do you like P. Ryan, Bobby?
Look, I think P. Ryan got lucky last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. And he's going to be on the field for snaps for sure. But I think the odds of him replicating a score even close to that are extremely, extremely low.
Yep.
Yeah, totally agree. The one thing I was thinking about in terms of P. Ryan and Mixon and who gets in the game, and again, a lot of our analysis is going to come down to this, is the mismatch of the offensive line versus the defensive line, where the Rams defensive line is massively better than the Bengals offensive line. Now, one of the things that Joe Mixon is not very good at is pass blocking. He's actually one of the lower end rated pass blockers. He's just not good at it. I think that's a big reason why Samaje gets in the game a lot. And by the way, Samaje Perine's little brother replied to my tweet when I was like, when I did the tweet about Samaje, like, like he ruined my day because he scored. Remember I did that?
Yeah.
I did a whole tweet. Samaje's little brother replied to that tweet. He's like, that's my bro. How'd you find me? It was really funny.
That's not LaMichael. That's not the Jets guy, is it?
No. He was a little kid. He's like 9 years old.
Okay.
Very cute little kid. But LaMichael is part of that family.
Oh, I think here's the deal. Like, I don't know. Like, if you watch the game, it feels like there was a couple of times, especially in the red zone last week, where Perine went the wrong way, right? Like, he went the wrong way on a screen. And like, I don't know that Burrow like necessarily trusts. Like, obviously he had the breakout game, but like, I have some concerns about Perine, and I think, I don't.
He had a big drop the week before that turned into an interception. I mean, he's not the most trustworthy guy. What I will say is, if his ownership stays around 5-6%,
I know
he is a guy that I'll probably want to get some leverage on DraftKings at his price.
That's the hard part, right? I was just looking at it.
I don't feel forced to play any of these running backs. In fairness, remember, we don't have to field running backs at all. True. But I mean, again, Mixon, is it a good matchup for him? No.
I will say with Perine, he's minus 140 for under 1.5 receptions.
That doesn't bode well for him. I actually kind of like the over on that. But
you're getting plus money on the over.
Yeah, I kind of like the over on that one, but it doesn't bode that well for him. Now, at wide receiver, my take, and I'm really curious to your guys' take on the game. You know, I've been a big Ramsey is going to shadow Mike Evans guy, right? Or Ramsey is going to shadow, your one stud. I don't think Ramsey is going to shadow in this game.
No.
BobbyWOW, I mean, DFSupNORTH, you agree? You don't think
I agree. I don't think he will.
Yeah. BobbyWOW?
I don't think so either. I mean, how could he?
He could. I mean, they could say, hey, take on Chase, but I don't get where Higgins is worse than Chase. And so I just think in this kind of a scenario, why it doesn't make sense for them to shadow, because Higgins is pretty much just as good as Chase, or they're 1A, 1B kind of thing. So
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the same.
I mean, they're just going to keep him on the left side of the field, or the right side if you're the offense.
Agreed. Yeah. You stay where you go, and you'll be on this guy. You'll be on. So I'm not going to allow the Ramsey factor to affect anything other than to maybe think. I actually think the biggest factor that might help somebody is Azuma's gimpiness helping Boyd.
Sure. Rack up a bunch of receptions.
He plays the same part of the field. No Azuma. That's 7 targets a game. I don't think Drew Sample is going to get 7. And even if Azuma plays and he's kind of gimpy out there,
some stuff up because you got to respect him.
Yeah. All right. So
my issue with Boyd though is, and we get more into this later, but we didn't see him pick up a whole bunch of extra targets last week, and Uzomah got hurt in the first drive of the game. And the other piece is his ownership is going to be through the roof. I mean, 30% on Tyler Boyd is not sexy to me.
No.
I mean, like, does Boyd have it? I mean,
he has a big game in him.
Does he have a big game in him?
Yes. Yeah. We've seen Boyd.
He has not this season, though.
Not this season. We've seen it in the past. Yes.
We've seen him do it.
Jamar Chase was there.
And he's had a 20-pointer this year. Maybe 1 or 2. Definitely
maybe.
1. Look at the log.
I'm looking it up.
Definitely 1.
He's got 1.
Yeah.
Denver 596 and 1.
Any wide receiver who's on the field in a game like this.
But I mean, he had 569 and 1 against the Jets, but that's a JV team. That doesn't really count.
That's not 20 either.
Hurtful. That's my beloved New York Jets team. All right, let's slide over to the Rams here. And again, what you're going to see is a beautiful scenario, much like with the Bengals, where we don't have turds. There's not many turds, guys. I like turdless games. No turds. So what do I mean? No, actually, some of the regulars are almost a turd at this point. But I'm going to address the running back situation last because it is really sketchy. But we talk about Matthew Stafford. We talk about Cooper Kupp and how consistent his greatness has been this year. It's really difficult to envision the Rams winning this game without Cooper Kupp being a big part of that. And I don't know what it is about teams being unable to focus on him and cover him, but they just can't. It's like he moves around too much. I don't know why it is that one player can continue to dominate games week after week. But Cooper Kupp is the top play on this entire slate, will be the highest owned guy, is the best captain play, probably on raw points if we throw salary out the window. So he is the top guy on the slate by far. And by the way, his average fantasy points per game this year, outside of like Christian McCaffrey, it was a record breaker. It was a record breaker. He averaging over 28 fantasy points per game in PPR. You know, LaDainian Tomlinson vintage was doing that.
Yeah.
You know, as an old school fantasy football guy, I remember Marshall Faulk doing that. Yeah. Marshall Faulk was so good. But that's it. He's amazing. I'm not overthinking Cooper Kupp. What we've seen in the last few weeks is Odell Beckham being a much, much bigger part of the Rams offense as well, to the detriment of Van Jefferson, the brown-eyed boy. I went there because Van Morrison.
I love it every time. I really do.
Josh doesn't even know who it is, and he's no idea what I'm talking about. He's not. For Josh, classic rock is like Guns N' Roses and Bon Jovi.
Aren't me and Bobby the same age? I think I might even be older than him.
Are you? No, wait.
I don't know. I just turned 33, so you guys might have me.
33?
You're a little older.
All right.
Thank you.
What? All right.
Van Morrison? That's Into the Mystic, right?
Yeah, that's all right. All right. Enough.
All right. Sorry.
It was classic rock for me. That's not my time. It's freaking classic rock. Anyway.
It might be your time.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's classic rock. So, Van Jefferson, not as great. Odell, yes. If Matthew Stafford's doing his thing, Odell's been the guy to supplement Cooper Kupp. In the third zone, we have Ben Skowronek, who, by the way, dropped what should have been a GPP Millie Maker winning reception. Cost me $1 million.
I jumped out of my chair. I'm like, oh my God, somebody's going to win $1 million on that.
Yeah. Oh my God. We talked about it. I was like, Skowronek.
And we were all over him. I know.
I was way over the field on Skowronek, and he just needed to catch the ball. So I'm going to do the same thing. Why change? Why change it? I'm doing the same. Let's do the same.
And I swear, he seems to get a end zone target in every single game. All it takes is a catch.
Yep. It just takes one. I'm not going to ignore Skowronek. He's like an 8 to 10%er. He's super cheap on DraftKings. The whole
doesn't take much to get 8 to 10%.
Yeah. And I mean, what's the prop for Kendall Blanton scoring a touchdown in this game? It's like it's going to happen.
But here's the issue from a DFS standpoint.
Right.
Those backup tight ends are priced up.
Yep.
They are.
And so Skowronek is the one. He's literally the one guy, 1K or less, that has any chance of being in the nuts. So I'm with you, Geek. At least 10% if you want to take down a tournament.
Blanton plus 260 to score.
Plus 260. Blanton has a reasonable chance of scoring a touchdown. That's not bad. I love Blanton here. I think
the price.
T. Higgins might even not T. Higgins. Tyler Higbee, he might actually play. But I put him in the same category as Azuma at best, in that, hey, it's the Super Bowl. I'm going to play even if I've got a broken leg. But that wears off, and then in game you're on the side.
I think Higbee's a little less likely than Uzoma, but it's the same thing, right?
Totally.
Like if they play, they're going to get out there. But
honestly,
I hope Higbee plays in it, and it kills Blanton's ownership a little bit.
Yeah, I think he will play. I think he's active, but he doesn't actually play in the game. I'm telling you, beware of this. It's the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
injured guys. Now, the other injury, and Steve Lynn, of course, taking it too far, putting Skowronek as captain. Let's not do that. So now we got to address the running back situation for the Rams, because it's a shit show. It's a shit show. So Cam Akers, shoulder issue. Do we know if he's practiced yet? Because as of my reading, he had not practiced. Of course, it's Tuesday, right?
Yeah. He has
So
practice,
the meat of the week is tomorrow and the next couple. We don't know.
He did practice finally today in a limited fashion.
Oh, that's right.
Limited.
I didn't see that.
Okay. So he did practice, which tells me if you're practicing week of the Super Bowl, he's going to play.
Playing.
He's definitely playing. But re-injury risk, legit. Between the Achilles this year and now the shoulder, and just the fact that he hasn't been very, very effective, I think it raises concerns. Now, Bobby, you were telling me before we went live that Darrell Henderson might be back for this game.
I believe he has been activated and is going to play, according to Sean McVay.
Oh, boy. So we've got Darrell Henderson.
And I need someone else to confirm that, but
Yep.
I thought I saw that.
He said yesterday that Henderson has a good chance to return for the Super Bowl.
So it's a lot of guys. It's Cam Akers, Sony Michel is there, Darrell Henderson is there. My assumption is Cam Akers will remain the lead back. They love him there. And, he'll get more than 50% of the touches.
Yeah.
So here's the direct quote from McVay, and read into this how you will. I think Darrell's going to go. So you'll have Cam Akers, Darrell, and Sony. So he even put Sony last there. I'm not saying read into it. I'm just saying that's what McVay said.
I think Akers is a high re-injury risk guy. Originally going into the slate, I loved Akers the most, almost out of any player. And so I'm really reeling off of this because my feeling is the Bengals defense is a good one to run against. And we've seen a lot of volume for Akers, a lot of volume, but we haven't seen a lot of results because it's been against the 49ers, the number one run defense in the league this year. And then before that, it was another great run defense. So they have been up against the Bucs, another top 5 run defense. So Akers has gotten, these are situations I look for. I wanted to see Akers coming off of 2 brutal matchups. You knew he wasn't going to do much against the Bucs. They're the Bucs. You don't run well against them. You knew he wasn't going to do it. The 49ers were the number 1 rush defense for the second half of the season. Number 1. So you knew, and I was like, yeah, baby, now we can get on him because now he's finally up against a shitty team, a bad run defense. And if he gets the same volume he got in those other games, he should smash. And he should smash at his ridiculously low salary on both FanDuel and DraftKings. Ridiculously low. So essentially, when you're playing Cam Akers this week, you're gambling that he's going to play the whole game and that he'll be the starter and he'll get 70% of the snaps. And I don't care if they mix in the other guys, but as long as he gets 70% and he gets his 20 touches for $6K, for $10K on FanDuel, for $6K on DraftKings, great. That's a bargain beyond all bargains. That's a really great bargain. Look at Joe Mixon, the same 20 touches, 9,400 or 13K.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what is your guys' take on Akers in this whole injury situation? I mean, up north, what do you say?
I mean, it's tricky, right? Like I want to like Cam Akers. It's a good spot. Like, I think that the Bengals defense overperformed last week. Like, they had their ceiling game and they're not going to likely have that again here in a tough spot. But like, it's almost one of those where I'm going to be like, all right, what's the ownership going to be? So right now we've got Cam at 9% in the captain, 38% in the flex, and Sony Michel, you're looking at like a 10% ownership. Because what if Cam Akers gets 20 touches and he doesn't score?
He hasn't scored.
It happened 2 weeks ago.
He's not going to get. He won't get there if he doesn't score, obviously.
And
but
here's the hard part: like, Sean McVay is a fake sharp. Like, he wants to run the ball a ton, and so like the touches are going to be there. The price is right. I want other people to overthink this, so I don't have to. I want that ownership percentage to change.
I mean, you'll be able to see a good 3-back rotation based on how the game unfolds. That's nothing you want to hear.
No,
that's nothing you want to hear. Which raises concerns even about a cheap Cam Akers.
Right.
And I have a hard time thinking, I think a lot of these guys just want to suit up for the game. I'm telling you, it's the Super Bowl. You got to keep the psychology in mind. I want to play in the Super Bowl. This might be my only chance in my life. I've got to play in the Super Bowl. That doesn't mean you're going to play every snap. It means you're active and you maybe play a couple snaps and maybe you don't even see the field. But you don't want to be in your suit, stand on the sidelines. You're in your uniform and you're playing in the game. And when the team wins, you get your ring and you feel like you're a part of it. Every player wants to play in the Super Bowl. They're not going to sit out unless they're dead. Like, unless the leg is broken, they're not sitting out. But that doesn't mean we can trust them as a fantasy rule.
Is the leverage play here to say, I'm gonna assume that all the running backs are gonna have 10 or less points, and I'm just not gonna play a running back?
Yeah,
I mean that's the leverage play, right? Like,
yeah. See, no, do not make this rule. Do not make that rule because we don't want one of them. They could all be crap. We're not forced to play a running back. I am not super interested in the backups to Cam Akers at all. Like Darrell Henderson, I have no idea what his health situation really is. And Sony Michel, he's not been very good even when he's played.
Right. I put in my notes. I think Sonny's fadeable.
Yep.
There you go. So, all right, let's get into the meat and potatoes, guys. Let's talk about actual lineup construction, and let's start with DraftKings and the way that DraftKings is set up, the MVP position. So I put these notes together for DraftKings. This is the DraftKings rating here. And obviously for me, Cooper Kupp is a core play. I will say this. We like wide receivers, pass catchers, most of all on DraftKings. And if you want to go into the showdown only using wide receivers, I'm totally cool with that. As a matter of fact, I think that's probably one of the best ways to go. Cooper Kupp is very expensive and probably not the guy who's going to end up in the nuts lineup, but he might. We have to see how the numbers come together. But Cooper Kupp will probably score the most fantasy points. Not definitely, but probably. The issue with him is just the salary level. When you pay for the top guy, he damn well better score the most points. That's first. And he not only better do that, but there has to be a mathematical way of putting a reasonably decent lineup together around him. What are your thoughts on Cooper Kupp and captain, Bobby Wow?
I think you got to consider it. I mean, I hate to say it, but you're right. He's just scoring a ton of points. And the issue is, and I'm sure we'll build a lineup here in a minute. The salary is so restrictive. So we'll see. But I do think you absolutely have to consider it. The ownership kills me, but you're absolutely right.
Looks like captain ownership, not crazy at 15%. But between captain and flex on DraftKings, he'll be in 65 to 75% of lineups. I
mean, it's not that hard to build that decent of a lineup with Kupp. You gotta play somebody like Ben Skowronek. There's your issue.
Right. You got to really play.
You got to play a turd,
an extreme turd.
You got to basically say, I'm going to hopefully get more than 0.0 points.
Now, if you look at both Stafford and Burrow, I don't tend to play quarterbacks at the captain position on DraftKings. I just don't. I haven't done it all year. Outside of like the Josh Allens of the world, I haven't done it. I like running quarterbacks, but I will say this about Joe Burrow. He did a little bit of running in the AFC Championship game, out of character. And I think part of the reason he did that was because when they played the Titans, he didn't do much running. He got sacked 9 times. So they figured out, dude, don't stand there with the football. And now you've got the Rams who are going to rush the passer. I think there's elevated Joe Burrow running the football possibilities in this game. Love any prop involving Joe Burrow rushing yards for this game as well, because I think he's going to be running for his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Von Miller's going to be in his face. Aaron Donald's going to be in his face. Like, he's going to have to get frickin' going.
They do not have a good offensive line. They will not be able to stop Aaron Donald. Like, Aaron Donald could have 3.5 sacks by himself in this game and just break a record, by the way. Another prop to take a look at. But what do you guys think about these two guys at captain on DraftKings?
Josh?
I mean, yeah, looking at their recent statistics, like Stafford throws the ball a ton, right? Like the yardage is going to be there for him. I don't like captain quarterbacks, to be honest, like just because they're overowned anyways. And they have a hard time kind of building the rest of the lineup, but I like the idea of Burrow, right? Like he's with that rushing upside, possibly. Their ownership's the same. Like there's no real leverage play on either of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the biggest issue for me is just quarterbacks just so rare. These style passing quarterbacks so rarely are the nuts
because they're going to throw to Cooper Kupp 12 times, or they're going to throw to Odell 10 times, or Jamar Chase is going to have 200 yards. Like it's hard for them to outscore everybody else.
Yeah, and plus they're very expensive, so they not only need to outscore everybody else, but they also need the math to work with that. But if you do play these guys, you got to stack them with at least two pass catchers. At least two, because if they're only throwing to one guy, that guy's going to pass the route. I'm not using
I mean, one thing I'll say is this. Captain ownership is so spread out that you just have to be willing to take a stand on a couple guys. You know, get 25% on 4 guys.
Yep.
And to me, it's hard for me to elevate Stafford or Burrow over another 4 guys. So that's just the way I see it.
Especially if you're gonna make one of your stands be maybe Cooper Kupp and you're gonna play 25% because he's gonna come in at 14%. Like it's hard to build the other 75% of your lineups with guys who are priced similarly.
It doesn't
without having 40% Ben Skoranek, and we don't want to do that.
Yeah, it doesn't differentiate very well. And again, no turds to allow for this sort of style of construction where you're playing the most expensive captains. I will say this: if you look to the right. On FanDuel, Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford are core plays. They're my favorites on the slate, the Cup, and then those two. So it's like core. Everybody else is secondary on FanDuel, you can see here. But DraftKings, very, very different. This is how we differentiate.
And that's hard for people to understand sometimes too, is that like you really have to attack these so differently. Like if it's hard unless you purposefully do it. If you build similarly on both sides, you can crush on one and get smoked on the other, right?
100%.
Yep.
It's a different scoring system. We have to embrace the difference. Plus, FanDuel doesn't care if you play FanDuel. You want to play expensive guys at MVP,
right? Where
DraftKings rewards you for not doing that. So let's continue down the list. One of my favorites, although I find him a little spendy on DraftKings, is Odell Beckham, coming off of 9 and 11 targets consecutively the last couple games. And he's been a big part of this offense. I think he'll be a big part of the offense in this game. Odell Beckham. Can you imagine Odell Beckham, the MVP of the Super Bowl? Let me just
what a comeback.
Throw it out there. Is it that Odell Beckham, the poison of the guy they called poison in Cleveland? They said he's not a team player. They said he's poison. And we learned that no, Baker Mayfield just sucks.
It's 28-1 to be the MVP. Geek. That's an interesting bet.
I mean, can you just imagine? He has a miracle one-handed catch, winning touchdown. They're like, MVP. It's Odell. And you're like, wow, what a transformation this man's career. And he just had to get away from the terrible that apparently is Baker Mayfield. I'm sorry, Browns fan. I'm sorry. Don't re-sign that guy. If the Browns re-sign Baker Mayfield, that's on them. That they made their choice. He's not good. Yeah. Here, Swaggy P knows what's up. OBJ was always good. It's just that Baker stinks. Because we're like, how is he this bad now? So I like Odell, but the price is a little too high. It's a little too close to the cup zone. It's close to the cup zone.
It is. It's not hard to, you can put 10% on Odell and the captain and feel okay about it, right?
Yeah, I definitely want to have some, but he's not. I wish he was in the 6K range. I could have really loaded up because you get enough separation between him and Kupp. Kupp is scoring like 36 fantasy points. Odell in a great game gets you 25. It's just not the same. And I don't think Odell normally is going to outscore Cooper Kupp. It could happen, anything can happen, but it's less likely to happen. So
I mean, if
some
he
other
does,
names- what's
like
that?
the scenario, right? Like right, and that's you got to tell the story, right? So if Odell outscores Cup's not in the lineup, right?
Cup probably doesn't belong in the lineup at all. That just means, can you not see the Bengals spending 2 weeks just drilling in? Don't let Cup beat us. They got
Right.
nothing without Cooper Kupp. Let's double team him every single play. Remember, the Super Bowl, you have a lot of time. You have 2 weeks to game plan.
Yeah.
If they haven't figured out that Cooper Kupp is the focus, like the offense runs through Cooper Kupp, like what are they watching? What tape are they watching? What else are they looking at? All they're seeing is highlights of Cooper Kupp destroying every team in his path. Wouldn't they game plan like, you know what? Let's put a second guy on Cooper. Let's shadow him and let's put a second guy on this guy. Wherever he is, point to the safety. Wherever Cooper Kupp is, you are. I don't care what's going on. Where he is, you are. Wouldn't you do that? I mean, should I put in a call to the Bengals defensive coordinator? It seems like how you should probably play this game, no?
I mean, how about his worst game of the year was against Arizona, who has arguably like one of the worst secondaries in the NFL.
Random. And by the way, random shit happens.
He had 13 targets, just didn't do anything.
Yeah. Random shit happens. And if we talk about ownership as a reason to fade somebody, I mean, I ain't fading Cooper Kupp, but like that dude's going to be in 70% of the lineups out of 750,000 lineups in these contests. You can eliminate a big chunk of the competition by getting a little different. So Joe Mixon, and I'm going to throw this out to you guys. Josh, what are your thoughts on Joe Mixon? He's very expensive on DraftKings at 9,600. He's going to have one of his made it into the Millie Maker type games.
Yeah.
In order to get there.
I love Mixon. Like, I think he's a good running back. Is he going to be able to run against the Rams? Unfortunately, I think if the Bengals are going to have a chance, he's got to have 75, 80 yards on the ground and 20 carries, right? Like, don't you guys think?
Yeah.
Like he's gotta so if you think that the Bengals are going to be successful in this game, they have to run the ball. Like, that's just the reality. So, I mean, yeah, he's expensive, but I think you got to have some.
Mixon smashed against the Ravens, who at the time were considered a really elite run defense, and no one played him. And of course, he was in the Millie Maker winner. He was in, I think, 6 Millie Maker winning lineups this season. But in the games where he wasn't BobbyWOW, he ruined you. He was all or nothing. He was definitely all or nothing this year. He's either taking you to the championship, winning you a tournament, or he killed your lineup. So what do you think about Mixon in this spot? Not a good matchup.
Yeah, man, I think to me this is part of the leverage right here. Joe Mixon, Bengals need him. They need him to succeed. Josh is right. They need him to win. And so I look at that ownership, captain ownership on DK, and it to me it says play me.
Yep.
So I think for me, he's one of the 5 guys I'm getting at 20% on DraftKings at the captain spot. And I obviously he's failed more than he's succeeded there, but it's worthy leverage to me.
I think especially on DraftKings too, like, and especially when we consider the pass rush that the Rams have, right? Like, Mixon's a good pass catcher. Like, he's been targeted a ton. He's put up a 60-yard game this year a couple of weeks ago, right? So like, I think he is, maybe a little Joey B check down away from, getting 5, 6, 7, 8 targets and really smashing that price, because it is expensive. And to be honest, like, I kind of like that it's expensive, because that's just going to keep the ownership down.
It will keep ownership, and he is priced very high. So he needs to smash, or he ruined your lineup.
Or you can just not look at those lineups.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just even at the captain. Joe Mixon's a very dangerous play in general, flex or captain on the slate, because again, it's that matchup. But if they throw to him, they just never know what they're going to do. If they throw to him a lot, then he's going to do his thing. Like 2 games ago, he had 7, 8 targets. I think 2 weeks ago, or 2
against the Titans.
Yeah, against the Titans. So it can happen. And the Titans are similar to the Rams in that they rush the passer. They're putting pressure. So they were checking down to Joe Mixon to alleviate the pressure. We could see something very similar. By the way, Swaggy P, this is correct. And I talked about it earlier. The thing about Mixon, though, is he cannot pass block. That's why Samaje still makes it in the game. I've always wondered throughout Mixon's career why this guy can't stay on the field, because he can catch. Like, he's a good receiver, but the reason he's not on the field on third down is because he just can't block. He's not a good pass protector. He's one of the worst. All right, so Cam Akers. We already talked about this a little bit, but look at the price. Look at the salary. 64. If Cam Akers gets 25 touches, let's say that could happen. They've given him 25 touches recently. If they give him a full workload, which we have no indication that they would. Sean McVay talk about a 3-headed monster, whatever. I don't care what he says. Fucking liar. But if he gets 20 plus touches for 6,400 or 10K, and one of those touches leads to a touchdown, that's probably all it's going to take for him to certainly be an elite flex play, but potentially the tournament winning captain play. I like Cam Akers. I think it's dangerous. I think we don't know what his volume is going to be. What are your takes, Bobby? Wow, what do you say?
Yeah, I think he's another one of those guys that he's dangerous, he's risky, but might be worth taking some shots on in tournaments. I prefer Joe Mixon over Cam Akers if you want to get risky. But I think, Geek, like you said, there's always the possibility that, he goes off. The Bengals rush defense is not that good. No. So that is enticing to me.
I like that we have him seen. I haven't seen Cam Akers put up a big number. They still haven't priced like a turd, basically, because he hasn't had a big game, Josh. But he's played against two of the best.
I'm kind of in the camp of like, I'm going to let the Rams running backs beat me. I'm a Cam Akers guy. I love Cam Akers. I have like 10 Cam Akers autographed cards back here. If he crushes, like, I'll just sell those and take the profit there. Like, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'm gonna make that stand. I think I've been getting there as the week goes on, but I'm getting closer.
The only thing to overthink, like the only thing that's messing with me, Swaggy, is there's one thing messing with me. It's just, will he get if I could lock him in for another 20 touches at this price, I'm playing the shit out of Cam Akers. I don't know if he's going to be my exclusive captain. I have some others. We haven't gotten to the last two, but I have some other captains that I might like even more. I do have one that I really love, but as far as like a flex play for 6,400 or 10K on FanDuel, 10K for a running back, a starting running back on FanDuel. Yeah, we want that.
Yep. So
the last two potential captains that I identified, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Now, here's the differentiator between these. I think either T. Higgins or Jamar Chase could smash. Why not? They're WR1s, and they've both had 30-plus point games. They both smashed the season. You know what the difference is for me? Jamar Chase is priced just about the same as Cooper Kupp, and I just like Cooper Kupp more. So Jamar Chase becomes exclusively leverage off of Kupp. Jamar Chase is in your lineup. Cooper Kupp, he's not in it. That means Cooper Kupp had a bad game. Cooper Kupp failed because you can't afford these two players in your lineup at the same time. Or if you could, Jamar Chase would most definitely need to outscore Cooper Kupp in order to be the game winning. So let me ask you this question, Bobby Wow. What likelihood would you assign to the possibility that Jamar Chase scores more fantasy points in this game than Cooper Kupp does? Give me odds.
Oh, man. I would say 15%.
15%. That's fair. Josh, what do you say?
10,
15%. I would probably actually assume it's maybe a smidge higher than that. We always underestimate probabilities of things.
Right, yeah.
For both. But yeah, I mean, basically, not many people believe that Jamar Chase is going to outscore Kupp. But if he does, you're winning a tournament. Now, it's really interesting to me that his DraftKings captain ownership is projected at almost 10%, because that's not nearly high. If Cooper's going to be 15% and Chase is 10%,
that's not nearly.
Something's off about. They're about the same price. Like, these guys are salaried. He's 15.6. This guy's 17.4. Like, you're not saving that much by going down to Chase. 2K.
It's wild.
He should be owned at, let's say, 25% the level.
Half of that.
Yeah, it should be 5%.
Yep.
So, I'm going to be under on Chase if this is the number.
Yep.
I think he's more of a 5%er. But the guy I do love, and I think he's my favorite of all of the captain plays this week that aren't Cooper Kupp, is T. Higgins. And the reason I like Higgins is the price point, right? So he's that perfect 7,600. That's the number that's comfy and cozy and feels good. He has the ability to score 30 plus. He can do it. He's a wide receiver, could easily go over 100 yards. There's a little bit of the, hey, what if Jalen Ramsey is on Jamar Chase a little bit and pushes more targets over to Higgins? There's the other thing of, hey, there's no there's no real elite tight end in this game. So, T. Higgins functions as more of a red zone. He's a giant wide receiver compared to Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd. So there's a couple of different reasons why I like T. Higgins. I like that T. Higgins scores a touchdown prop. And as a DraftKings play, I like T. Higgins. And you'll see when we make a lineup here in a minute that T. Higgins makes the lineup a little easier to make.
Bobby, did Geek miss a captain play here?
Yeah, is there anybody that I missed that you think belongs here?
Well, I want to hear Josh. Yeah, I want to hear what Josh's is.
I mean, I hate making plays like this. And you guys know, but I think either kicker are viable in this game with all the expensive players. We've seen this scenario before.
We have seen it before.
Like, let's go to make some lineups and we'll talk about Evan McPherson and the captain. Like, we'll just get there.
All right. We will see what a lineup looks like. I thought you were going to say Kendall Blanton.
No, I was just I'm
Lord.
looking up player props right now for when we talk about that in a bit, because I just found a really good one.
Let's take a look at what Bobby Wow put into the turd zone here. I'm almost gonna
one other guy.
Wait, let me move our faces so we can see this a little bit better here. It gets a little smaller, but who's the other guy, Bobby?
And you're gonna hate me. It's CJ Uzama.
That was my first lineup I built this week. Was
as a captain, the injured
CJ
guy
Uzama as a captain. He catches 2 touchdowns, wins the Super Bowl MVP, and carries the Bengals to their first Super Bowl victory in God knows how long.
What is the odds? Zuma to win the Super Bowl MVP is like plus 10,000.
I honestly, it
Put
was
$10
like
on it.
It was the first lineup I made this week was Uzama captain.
You're kidding. Is this harkening back to last year when Gronk won it all, Millie Maker?
Just the price to ceiling ratio. And I get throw
Yes.
out the health thing for 1 second. All right. And just think about that. He's had a couple ceiling games this year where that could be nuts territory in this game. I'm just saying it's risky. It's 5%, but he's my long shot.
That's the silly for the Millie.
I like it.
Yep.
Listen, I'm fine with it. If the injury, I believe the injury ruins it for me. I just cannot see him just being 100%. But, hey, it's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Is it Wednesday? What day is today?
I don't even know what day it is. Wednesday, I think.
It's Wednesday. I keep saying it's Tuesday. It's Wednesday. So we'll see what happens the rest of the week.
He could get a full practice in tomorrow.
Yeah, he could just be like, no, I'm fine. So we'll see. Yeah, Drew Sample. Ricky's saying, how about Drew Sample for the win? I don't know about a captain on Sample. But hey, he's playable. So I mean, checking into the turd zone here,
So
Zuma value, Evan McPherson. There's a lot of love for the kickers in this one. Let's see what we got on Kendall Blanton. Kendall Blanton's one of my favorites. I would be a little higher on maybe Kendall Blanton even than this implies.
They're just so expensive, Geek. If Higbee plays and Uzama plays, those guys are the same price. I mean, It's crazy to me. On DraftKings, at least. It's wild.
No bargain here, but there's no one else cheaper. Like, you got to play an 8K guy on FanDuel. And on FanDuel, for me, Kendall Blanton's like one of the best plays. Of course, Uzuma would be a better play if he's in the game. But Blanton's one of the better plays for me. And Drew Sample at 6,500 on FanDuel as well. One of my favorite plays.
Yeah,
because
on
you need
Panelists,
this.
you can play.
You need a cheapie like that. You need those guys. If you're going to play, you'll see when you make the lineup, you need to find somebody in that zone. Going below the zone, it gets really gross. Like you really dove deep with the turdliest of turds, Jake Funk. He needs the funk. We can. I mean, I can't believe you made notes on him. It's a triple turd.
Look, it's a Super Bowl, man.
That's a
Every
bold
viable
clogger.
player is going to make the sheet.
Can't flush it after that one. It's clod. Triple turd.
I think I got a
The
Jake
tri-turd.
Funk card somewhere too.
He's the triumvirate of turdliness. Ben Scourneck, of course, we already talked about him a little bit and how we like him. So let's make a lineup. That's what everybody wants to do. Let's go over and make a lineup. So let's start at the top.
Okay.
With the expensive version of a lineup, the one that starts with Cooper Kupp. And this is, you'll start to see why it's hard to do it. So, with Kupp in the game, you only have 6,500 left. So you've got to already all the studs up here. So you got to use somebody in this zone to make it work. Now, of course, Scourneck playable,
Obvious.
but a very, very high likelihood of 0.
Yep.
But at least the lineup won't look terrible with Scourneck in there. You already said you like Evan L. McPherson, so
Get him in there.
Love him.
there we go.
McPherson.
I like kickers against a good defensive team anyway.
Yep.
I always like a kicker. It's hard to score touchdowns on the Rams, so you're going to kick extra field goals. So now we're up to 9,300. Now we can start to have some fun. So, of course, you cannot make a lineup. Actually, see, we don't need to squeeze Cooper Kupp in there, so maybe like a T. Higgins. And we're already in the zone here where we could play whoever the hell we want.
So I think that if we're looking at like the Super Bowl Millie Maker one, I think the leverage is I think a Kupp captain with like out Stafford is an interesting leverage play because we know that the vast majority of those, whatever, if let's say it's 15% Kupp captains, like 14 almost or 90% of those lineups are going to have Stafford in them, right? Like, so the leverage play is possibly not having Stafford with them and thinking that Kupp gets 110 and 2 touchdowns and Stafford throws for 220 and 2 touchdowns and they win. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, I could see it. I'm thinking, but there's when you do it, as long as Scourneck and the tight end are in, and McPherson are in the lineup,
you pretty much.
Now, I don't want to make a lot of Scourneck lineups, to be honest with you.
No.
But like, if they're in it, then you could pretty much choose what you want to do with the last 3. You could go Burrow, Chase, and Akers. You can go.
Yeah, it doesn't look that bad.
Yeah, it works. I mean, Stafford. If you want to stick with Stafford, you can go Stafford, Odell, double down, and get T. Higgins in there and have a nice little lineup. There's a lot of different ways to go here. We can go with Akers and then Burrow or Chase. A lot of different ways to go with this approach. But what I want to see is. Yeah, I love it. Swag's like, guys, it's Wednesday. Come on. You said it's Tuesday. Like, I don't know what day it is. So what I want to see is if it's possible to make a decent looking lineup without Scourneck and the 0 that he's likely to deliver. And remember, he's very likely to deliver a 0. So
it's like, I think you can. You just can't play like both quarterbacks.
You need Akers. You got McPherson. We'll need another cheap guy. And I think it's Kendall Blanton or one of these tight ends. Once you've gotten that grouping, so how about this? Kupp, Blanton, Akers, and maybe I don't know. I'm gonna keep putting Akers in lineups because he's so cheap. He's so attractive to my button pusher finger. What do you think here? 8,800 left. Kind of got to go cheap and expensive. Like Odell's in a weird spot.
I hate it, but put Rams D in and see what you can do.
Ooh, Rams defense, eh? I didn't even think of that.
Like if you put those in for the next guy, what does it look like?
Well, now I can get rid of Cam Akers if you got Rams defense in there, and you can actually just do Mixon Chase.
Chase Burrow, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could play Rams D and think like, okay, they're going to get 4 sacks and a pick 6, and Burrow gets more reps, right? Like,
how about Stafford Odell? Very heavy Rams
The
with just
Rams are going to
just the
crush.
kicker. Just the
Yeah.
kicker.
I don't hate that.
Interesting. Or I could, I can even take out the kicker and put like Van Jefferson. I guess I don't really love the other option. I think I like, but this gives a couple of different paths. So there are some paths where what I've learned is Cooper Kupp at captain, it doesn't ruin you.
No, it's not like some weeks where like the guy's 19,000 and you just can't do anything with it.
Yeah, it doesn't ruin your lineup. There's, but you're gonna have to play a couple of crappy guys and Rams defense.
And we've seen guys take down Millies with like 0 before, right? Like
I've never seen that with a 0.
A 0?
Never.
How we have?
I don't feel like that's ever happened.
One thing I'm interested in too is, and maybe you guys already mentioned this, but the lineup with 0 QBs and 0 running backs.
Yes.
All right. So
if we're trying to take down a Millie maker.
Yep.
That has my interest.
Not in like your 3 entry max with 2,000 people.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I like that. Yeah.
What about starting with T? Right. Start with T Higgins.
T Cup.
A little bit more middling in salary level. And still, I go right back to Cup. I need him in the lineup, but now we're at 67.50 per. So again, we have
OBJ.
Yep, put Odell in.
Love Odell.
McPherson.
Back to the kicker.
McGoldson. What do you have? 7?
Yeah,
well,
7K right here. Actually, we're in a weird zone because if we try to get Akers 8,200, there's no other player there.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah, click Jamar Chase and see what we got left.
Yeah, Kendall Blanton or Drew Sample.
Or Matt Gay. I just think, I think this is interesting. Give me both. Again, it's
kickers?
super crazy. Double kicker.
Or you play Rams or Bengals D because and in that scenario, we're thinking this game is like 17-14 and the wide receivers are taking all these PPR points, or you know what I mean, or not all these PPR points, but like 18-19 gets you there, right?
Yeah, I'd probably go in this scenario. I'd probably go like Rams defense or something.
Yeah, I like that.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to me.
Now let's go with the scenario 3, the cheapest starting point. L. McPherson.
Yeah,
And I'm calling him L. McPherson after my favorite model from the 90s. Why not? Evan McPherson. So if you start here, now you've got 88. Now we're talking. So we need only, what the math says, we only need one more cheap guy. That could be someone like Cam Akers, or we can go again. My favorite cheapies are Akers, Blanton. I don't want to show the kicker in every single lineup because then everybody who watches this is just going to play
100% Evan McPherson.
Yeah, don't do that. So at this point, with these two guys in here, now we can just start to do whatever the hell.
You love Blanton, man. You're crazy.
Why don't you like Blanton?
You're nuts.
You think I'm crazy for liking Blanton?
I do.
This guy got 5 targets last week.
Okay, yeah, great. That's his ceiling right there. He's got 10 points.
I'm assuming that Higbee is out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm playing with the assumption that Higbee is not going to play. If Higbee plays, I'm not going to load up. But yeah, I mean, like, it's pretty realistic that the kicker probably outscores Blanton anyway. Like it's not like, where's the kicker? What the hell? Where's McPherson? Oh, he's already. He's already in there. Okay, so forget Blanton then. Whatever. Who do you play? I can't play Uzuma. I don't think he's going to play. But or I don't think Uzuma's a good play. But let's throw him in there, right? He plays and he has a good game. Same difference price wise. It's more about salaries. So here, Odell. No. Let's see. Price wise, 10-2. Yeah, you could play Mixon and any one of the quarterbacks. Done. Mixon because there's no Burrow. Mixon having a good game. Stafford, Cup.
I like it.
It's fine.
I like it too.
Yeah, you could do a lot with kicker here. Again, I thought the Cup lineup at MVP looked the best.
It does, doesn't it? Like I was building them earlier, and I'm like, gosh, this doesn't look bad.
It didn't look too bad. We didn't really address Van Jefferson very much. I don't know what to make.
He hasn't done shit.
He hasn't done much, but it doesn't matter. Him and Boyd, give me some percentages for Van and Tyler Boyd that you're comfortable with in the flex? Like, and would you even consider either guy at captain?
No
I
captain
don't
for
think so.
me.
Not a captain for me.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like either guy at captain. I don't really love
Oh,
Zoom.
yeesh.
So
Why is Boyd 29%?
It's crazy because it was price. I'm going to be underweight on Boyd.
you got to be in that zone though. That's a price zone. That's why I keep going to Blanton. I'm like, he's the healthy guy at 46.
Yeah, I don't
Van Jefferson will be unowned. He will be unowned, and he has
that's true.
Since Odell came over. But here's the thing: he is your Nelson Aguilar, where he could catch a 75-yard pass, and boom, he's in the nuts. One play.
I would go higher than this, Jacovia. Like, I'm thinking you got to be 15, 20% these guys.
Like, Tyler Boyd's prop is 40 yards.
It doesn't matter what his prop is.
Gross.
We're trying to win $1 million.
So you got to play Vanny over Tyler Boyd then, because Boyd's 30% owned.
Yeah. Remember, what are we trying to do? We're trying to win $1 million. And you don't win $1 million by caring about what the prop says. We're looking for outcomes that are unlikely to happen.
Yeah.
But can happen. They're possible. They're possible.
Yeah.
So let's, you have all these different approaches. By the way, we're talking tournaments, and we're trying to build tournaments lineup. We're trying to build lineups to beat 700,000. I don't know what's going to beat 700,000 other people. You have to do something different. You've got to do something out of the ordinary, or you're not going to beat all these people. You've got to have something unique about your lineup. If I tried to construct the most obvious lineup,
super easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's all your studs. Even I don't even know if it's that easy, but like you're just going to put all your studs in here.
Cup and Stafford together. That's
would
Cup.
That's
the cash lineup, right? Like
absolutely. I really kind of want Cam Akers in that lineup because of his price. And McPherson, you put in the cheap guy.
Yep.
Maybe Rams defense get a bunch of sacks, and then finish it off with T. Higgins. This is for me would probably be my obvious lineup.
Yep.
So if somebody and you can, if you don't like Cam Akers, fine.
I'm going Matt Gay instead of Rams defense there.
That's fine too. That's more
either way.
Yeah, like
probably a little more cashy.
I like Matt Gay. I think we've talked a lot about Evan McPherson. I think he's a great kicker, but I mean, like I said earlier, I think Sean McVay is a fake sharp, and he'll settle for field goals. And Gay he'll miss extra points, but like he's a pretty good kicker.
Yeah, he's fine. It doesn't matter. Kicker is a kicker. By the way,
12 points.
Remember Urban Meyers like trying to be Bill Belichick and like being a dick to the kicker in Jacksonville,
and I can bit him in the ass.
The kicker, dude. It's not fucking 1988, okay? And you're not Bill Belichick, so shut the fuck up and stop being disrespectful. That guy, man. I hope Khan, the owner of the Jaguars, gets some of that money back that he's paying Urban Meyer. All right, so let's talk a little FanDuel, the golden duel, as I like to call it. You know what that means? I watched a show called Shaws of Sunset.
Oh, that's my jam.
You like
the golden duel. I know what that is. Yeah.
You know what it is. Bobby is horrified. What do you mean you watched that show?
Oh, that's my jam. That's like one of my favorite ones on Bravo.
Golden duel is a Persian expression that means golden dick. And that's what Persian mothers call their little boys.
Yep.
Gold penis.
I was hoping it was a Harry Potter reference or something.
No, Shaw's man. That's my jam. Love that show.
You love that show? That's so weird. My wife makes me watch it, but I don't hate it.
I know that's me too. Like my wife makes me watch all these terrible shows.
I would never watch that.
Pretend I don't like them, and then I'm like, I walk in the Vanderpump reunion the other day, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? What's going on here?
What happened with Jack and Brittany?
Yeah, what? No, they're off the show
together.
Now. They're gone.
Oh, they're on the outs.
They're off the show now.
They're off the show.
Oh yeah, they kicked everybody off.
Oh, well, I haven't seen it. Vanderpump went downhill ever since the blonde chick. Yeah. Jacoby's like, you guys know way too much about that show.
Yeah. No. I know. Like, I secretly am like, oh yeah, I'm in.
I don't hate Shaw's. It's watchable.
Shaw's is funny.
Yeah, the other Vanderpump is not really watchable.
Those are the only two I watch.
Let's talk some FanDuel, guys. And for me, I only really have 3 captains that I like, and then the rest are kind of like, if I play anybody else, I don't even know if I will. I probably will, but I don't know. Maybe running backs like a Joe Mixon, just like fuck it, he goes nuts. But outside of that, I mean, for me, it's Cam Akers, Cooper Kupp, Stafford, and Burrow, and that's it.
Yep.
I think you can brute force it. Maybe again, Mixon has to be in the mix. He's priced really well. One nice thing about Mixon is he's priced really well. And so, I mean, it's actually not that hard. It's surprisingly easy to make lineups on FanDuel. FanDuel usually doesn't give us a break, but they kind of did on this one. We're not going to have to play a lot of turds. So, I mean, let's just go the most basic route that you can for lineup construction on FanDuel. And, we'll go right back to Evan here. And 97.5, I mean, I can get the starting running back for the Rams in there. And, 2 kicker. Is this your cash lineup?
Probably.
Maybe,
I mean, Joey B. I wish you could fit Joey B in there, but yeah.
You can fit Joey B, by the way, if you do this. You got to grab a Kendall Blanton or Zuma or Van or one of those guys, but I don't think that's cash playable. I think Drew Sample is if let's say Uzuma's out or we want to play that injury, Sample's in my mix.
Yep.
Van Jefferson, we already talked. He's playable, more tournament playable. And
I don't think he'd even play Joey.
I like Blanton a little more than maybe you do. But if you go this way, you can't get Burrow in there.
You got to play Sample.
Even with Sample, there's no path. The only path to Burrow, Stafford, and Kupp really involves 3 turds, and we don't want 3 turds. It's 2 turds. It's one too many turds. Yeah, I don't like that. Although this could win the tournament. This feels like a tournament winner a little bit, but you're hoping for 2 really unusual things, which is Sample scoring well and Van Jefferson scoring. I don't like that. I like hoping for 1 unusual thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Uzma.
I thought it was Uzoma, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I definitely been saying it wrong. I thought it was a Zuma. Interesting. I don't know, guys. So a couple things about FanDuel would be for me. Uzuma.
Uzama is that's what the Bengals.com pronunciation says.
Uzama.
Yeah, Uzama.
So a couple things for me just on the captain side. I'm making a rule for Matt Stafford. All right, so BobbyWOW, I need to ask you this. Matt Stafford is your captain. Are you forcing 2 wide receivers with him?
I'm probably not.
Yeah, no force of 2.
And you too?
I think he's certainly has some QB sneak for touchdown possibilities. We've seen that before in this playoffs already. And I think the other piece is, you could see a Kendall Blanton catch a touchdown. You could see Cooper Kupp catch 2 touchdowns. You could see a Van Jefferson catch a random touchdown. So yeah, for me, it's I don't want to limit it by doing 2.
Josh, your take on it?
Yeah, I don't think you need to. I mean, especially if you're building in the DS, like you don't want to limit yourself to, what I mean?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely building in the DS.
Constrict yourself, right?
I'm building 450 lineups.
I tell you what, I am 100% on board with the, in my lineups, I want Stafford, I want Burrow, and I want Kupp as my MVPs. But especially with the nickel and I love running 150 Jamar Chase lineups and just saying fuck it, try to get the outcome of, you know what I mean? That it's pizza money.
I like it. By the way, do that with the nickel game.
That's what I'm saying. With a Chase and a Mixon and guys that maybe aren't necessarily in my main pool of lineups that I actually care about. And then all of a sudden it's oh shit, I just banked for
Odell,
covered my night.
Who's 3%.
Yeah. Right.
So let's talk some of these alternative guys. So Odell Beckham, FanDuel captain.
Right, remember, he's got to be the highest scorer on the slate.
Score the most points. T. Higgins, Chase, those guys, any one of them could get there.
Yep.
Is it likely? No. But they could get there. What was it? Was Gronk the FanDuel MVP last year as well, or was it just the DraftKings captain?
I think it was just DraftKings.
Yeah, it was DraftKings, right? I can't. It's hard to. It's just hard for pass catchers to get there on FanDuel. But yeah, I guess a little T. Higgins. Any other thought? Like, what about Cam Akers? Can you play Cam Akers?
Don't sleep on Cam Akers and Joe Mixon on FanDuel. They're going to be under 10% each, and that's a crime on FanDuel. So don't sleep on those guys.
No one likes to play a 10K guy at captain. It feels gross. Like, wow, I'm wasting all my salary savings at captain. But, you know.
Oh, yeah. That's a great bet.
Doesn't look too bad. So
No,
I like that.
I won't have a lot of it, but maybe a couple shares of these guys just
Especially
in case.
at FanDuel.
Now let's go to the FanDuel turd zone. It was DK for I won it last year. It's my claim to fame is being a Millie Maker winner last season. Got points on my leaderboard for winning a Millie Maker. And my favorite player, Gronk. I mean, come on. So let's talk about the turd zone. And a couple of these guys that we already talked about, like on FanDuel, the ones who open up the salary for you. So I think for me, it's Ben Skowronek, of course, our favorite. The best part about Ben Skowronek is you always think it's Cooper Kupp at first. Like, I call up Gow. Oh, no, who's that? Ben Skowronek. You want to be cheering when Ben Skowronek scores a touchdown, not like, oh, shit, my Super Bowl's finished.
Yes.
I'm done.
Right.
Paper ripped, throw it up in the air. I'm finished. No, I want to be cheering for Skowronek when he drops the touchdown. Sorry. I mean, when he catches one.
Jeez.
He dropped it. He's going to win me $1 million. I was like, I got it. Catch the ball. No. Why? Oh, man. That was brutal. But yeah, Skowronek is one. Drew Sample. Hey, your boy Uzuma says he's going to play. Comes out, Bobby Wow. Comes out. Starts limping around. Gets hit in the first play. He's like, I can't go on. Drew Sample comes in. Catches 5 targets, 45 yards, touchdown. Who dat? Catch me outside. Could happen.
Could. Yeah.
Absolutely.
6,500. Samaje Perine, man, if he does it again,
Oof.
I don't even know what to tell you. If he does it again. If he does it again, he's going to have to do it on 3 receptions. One of them will have to be a breakaway touchdown.
A 60-yard touchdown.
What's the ownership look like? Because the chances of him doing that, I'll give it 5%.
We basically saw it last week.
And he did it already once. That's what I'm saying. He has 1 or 2 of those in him a season. That's why you give him about a 5% chance.
He's projected at 1% ownership on FanDuel.
And so it's lower than his chances of breaking one out. So you got to have a couple of points. The other thing that could happen, by the way, and let's not ignore, this is the Super Bowl. Let's not ignore the fact that I don't think this is a showdown. Starting running backs get hurt.
Yep.
The backup comes in. So it's absolutely within the realm of possibility that Mixon, who is injury prone throughout his career, he gets hurt, and Samaje Perine comes in. You cannot allow a backup running back in a showdown to be 1% owned. He must be owned above that. So you got to have some. And I would make a rule to not include him in any Mixon lineups. I'm going to disallow the pairing. I know Steve is saying pair them up. That would be super unusual and fine also. But I don't want to waste the very few Perine lineups I'm going to make with his vulture. So I'm gonna make a rule against it. But I understand why one might say no. I want to play them together because no one will do that.
Right.
The only thing is, but the problem is if you don't make a rule, the Dom station will just throw them together like way too often, and you'll have a Perine lineup. You're like, yeah, and then there's Mixon, and it's like shit. It doesn't even help you that you played the backup if he's in there with the starter. Like it kills that lineup anyway. So I don't like the combo. You start to move up in salary level, and I would say, any of these guys, Van Jefferson, Azuma, Sony Michel is going to be a tough sell for me. Higbee with the knee, MCL, we have to figure out what's going on with his health. Then Kendall Bland, 8K. So we're ready at 8K, 9K, kicker zone. Couple turds. You don't want to go over 10% on any of these guys.
No.
All right. Let's talk. Let's get away from the showdown.
Yeah.
I think we covered it. Let's talk some props, baby. Super Bowl props. You guys stuck around with us. DFS Up North is the prop master.
I've just been like, I'm excited to look at it. Like, they're so fun. Like,
a lot of fun props. So let's talk Super Bowl props. And Josh, this is your area of expertise. Give me a couple of ones that you're excited about.
I just found like maybe my favorite one, and you can the only place I'm seeing to bet it right now is on Caesars and on MyBookie. But it's Mike Hilton, 4.5 tackles and assists, and it's plus 120. So Hilton is the slot DB for the Bengals, and he is likely going to be lined up across from Cooper Kupp every single time, who we are expecting to get 10, 12 targets a game. And he's likely going to be the guy to tackle him. So I really, really like the 4.5 tackles and assists. DraftKings has it, but it's 4.5 tackles. It's not plus assists. So you got to look at that, because that's like, I like the assist ability in there on Caesars, where that helps you get it over. But 4.5 tackles is, he's had 6, 9, 10 this year, but like, I like the tackles and assists. So I really like the Mike Hilton prop. That's one of my favorite ones that I just found.
I love it. I wrote it down.
There you go. Write it down.
Caesars.
Caesars.
By the way, for anybody out there, if you guys are doing any sort of sports betting and you want to get the props all organized in one place, make sure you download the Sharp app. Now it's not going to have these crazy Super Bowl, flip a coin type props in there, but you type in a player name, it's going to put all the props for that player across every book right in the same spot. So you can compare across all the books. I did this 2 weeks ago. I wanted to teach my kid about gambling. My 15-year-old. Yep. So, she was like, Dad, I need some money. I've only got $20. So I said, you know what? I really like Cooper Kupp to score a touchdown.
Yep.
Right. I think it's a great bet this week. It was, the finals. And I said, I think it's a great bet. And it's a great way for you to make a little bit, to make a little more money to my daughter, to my child. So we jump onto the Sharp app and I'm like, all right, I'm about to just pull the trigger on the bet. I'm like, how much you want to put up? $15? All right, I'll put up 100. You put up 15. We do 115 together. You, me, betting, right? Got to get him started young. Got to get him started young. And, I jump on the Sharp app and it's like, oh, FanDuel has it. So DraftKings was minus 180 for the bet. FanDuel was minus 120. The difference was so extreme that I was like, wow, I got to put up $180 to win 100 or 120. And I just saved $70 or $60 because I opened this app and just checked it. Most people don't check. They're just like, all right, let me jump on the first one. It takes me an hour to log into 5 different sports books and look for the prop and find it. It really does. It takes me like an hour.
Yeah, like being able to search that is so nice.
Yeah. I would never do it. I wouldn't even bother searching. I'd just be like, fuck it. I'm putting on the first one. So Hilton, 4.5 tackles, assists, Caesars. I like it. BobbyWOW, you got anything for me?
I think one of my favorite props one of my favorite lines is Bengals plus 4.5. We've seen dogs, I think 7 out of the last 10 times they've covered that spread.
Yep.
So I'm intrigued by that. And then if we want to get juicy, I like Van Jefferson over 2.5 receptions at plus 130.
That's not bad.
Okay. I don't mind that one bit. 2.5 is a relatively reachable number for him. All he has to do is not drop as many passes as he's been dropping recently, and he should be able to get there.
Yep.
I like that. Now, Josh, you've got a couple other really good ones.
Yeah, so I really like.
You've got a pile of really great ones.
DraftKings has some exotic bets, is what we call them, right? Like where they put different things up. But I really, really like, this is probably my favorite bet of the night, is the under 23.5 for a jersey number of the first touchdown scorer. So basically we're betting that the first person that scores in this game, their jersey number is under 23.5. So 23 and under. So that gives you both quarterbacks. Obviously, if they run it in, you're getting Cooper Kupp. You're getting who else? Odell. Like pretty much any of the skill. Jamar Chase. You're basically trying to fade T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, Van Jefferson. But like outside of that, like all the big guys that we're expecting to score that have the highest or the lowest touchdown probabilities, like that's what we're looking at. So at minus 140, I really like that bet.
You're missing the running backs. You basically are missing the running backs.
Yep.
Some of the basically you need Cooper Kupp to score the first time.
Yep. The other one I really like is Rams to win and both teams to score 20 or more points. So this is on DraftKings, and we're getting plus 190 for this. We're looking at a Rams to win bet is what? What do we have that on the money line? Probably plus. Let me see. I got to bring it up here. Football. Rams to win on the money line is minus 200, right? So we're and with the game total being 48.5 and the spread being 4.5, like we're already seeing that both teams are going to score more than 20. So now we're just getting basically plus money to bet the Rams to win.
I love that bet. I love this bet.
Yeah, that's
like I was gonna. You're already betting the Rams to win. You might as well assume both teams score 20
points. Right.
I love that bet. Swaggy P's got a good one. Well, let me throw Swaggy P's bet out there because
I like that one. Yep.
Yeah, I like the Burrow rushing prop. Again, we talked about it. Burrow not a running quarterback, but we saw after the Titans game when he got sacked, and now he's going to be running for his life. It only takes 2 scrambles to hit 11.5. So I like that Burrow 11.5 yard rushing prop right there, Swaggy, for sure.
Yep.
BobbyWOW, you were about to say something.
I love it. I like Rams total sacks over 3.5 plus 105.
I love that one
I think
too.
Von Miller could get that by himself. I think Aaron Donald could get that by himself. Like we know that Joe Burrow is going to run for his life. We're getting plus money on it. I really like that.
The one thing I will say about that is, man, that's a lot of sacks to be 50-50, but it's a reminder.
But it's right. Like it feels right, doesn't
it? It does. It's a reminder. And this is what I've been saying the whole time. The biggest mismatch in this game is Rams defensive line versus Bengals offensive. It's a mismatch. Again, Titans, 9 sacks. This is a team where their fan base was very upset they took Chase because they all wanted Penei Sewell. We need an offensive lineman. Our offensive line is terrible. Joe Burrow has gotten here with a terrible offense. Imagine how good that kid is going to be when they fix the O-line, by the way. Yikes. So he did it without the O-line, guys. I love these props. Really good choices, all of them.
Yep.
I am on a Rams money line. I agree with you, Bobby. Wow, that's the whole thing. I kind of think the Bengals will keep it close. I don't like the idea of a blowout in the Super Bowl. I think the Bengals have a good chance to keep it close, but the Rams, in the end of the day, are the better team. I feel like Stafford, it's his time. This is a beautiful thing, by the way. What a wonderful redemption for Matthew Stafford, just like Odell. I feel like Stafford and Odell are similar. Discarded in the trash heap. This one in Detroit, just toiling away on a terrible franchise. The other one, toiling away, Odell, on a terrible franchise with the Browns. Not a bad I'm not going to say a terrible franchise, but a franchise with a really bad quarterback right now. And this is their redemption. So I'm really excited about this game, guys. Any final? One other thing for DFS Army VIPs. I will do a lineup build live stream on Friday night, assuming my wife doesn't make me take her out to dinner or something. Valentine's weekend. I don't know.
You got the golden duel. You'll be fine.
I got but I'm going to do a live stream. I know a lot of people are going to ask about it. I'm going to do a live stream Dom Station setup. I got a lot of lineups to make myself, so I'm just going to do it. You guys can hang out, join me. So I'll post something on Friday. The other thing is Wise Guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Early Wise Guys show. Man, Anthony, 2 p.m. Anthony time, probably 2:30. Sorry, not
the wise time is 2:30.
Yeah, Wise Guy time. It's about 2:30. Hey, I'm running late. But we'll do another Wise Guy show. We're gonna have more prop bets, more discussion of the game, more bets about just a betting show.
Yep.
We're gonna do that tomorrow. But Josh, you killed it with these props. I wrote them down. I'm betting all of this.
I mean, it's 2022. Why wouldn't you write something down?
I'm writing it down on a piece of paper. I got them written. I got a notepad. I got a paper. I wrote everything down. So, I can't wait for this. Obviously, we love the Super Bowl. I love hanging out with you guys. I don't know what we're gonna do. We play some Call of Duty. What are we doing for the next 6 months, guys?
Golf.
Play a little golf, like DFS. You know where I'm gonna be?
Golf.
I'm gonna be heavy into NASCAR. I always do MMA.
I love NASCAR too.
Yeah, I always do MMA. I mean, obviously, I love MMA. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite sports to watch. Very tough DFS sport because of how insane variance is for MMA. But I love NASCAR. We already had DFS Army. Like, what do we say? Last week we're like, guys, you don't understand. We crushed NASCAR. What do? We fucking crushed the Clash. NASCAR. We're about to take down Daytona next weekend. We are going to absolutely smash NASCAR as we always do. And I'm going to be heavy into that in this offseason, just loading up.
I didn't get to watch. Did you watch it at the Coliseum? Was it cool?
It was less cool than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, I did watch it. It was fine, but it wasn't the sexiest race I've ever seen. The quarter mile thing just didn't.
I mean, I watch Lightning McQueen with my kids at least once a day, and I've been trying to get them to bet on who's going to win, but it's not going as well.
You got to bet on. Yeah,
they're a little younger than yours.
Yeah, even my little ones. They're little, my youngest daughter is a card shark. She is like, so my oldest one, I need to teach her the gambling skills, but my little one,
she's in. She's already
she's a card shark already. Like she learns the tricks that I use, and then she starts doing them, and it impresses me so much. I love it. I'm like, oh my god, she's using my trick. That's my sneaky trick that I do in this game. You know, like whatever the game is, you know how you try to beat every game with figuring out the trick for it. Mm-hmm. Most people don't. That's how I win at cards. Like if the other person figured out my trick, I got an edge. I'm done. But my little one figures out my tricks and she uses them on me, which is awesome, and she beats me. Which is awesome. I love it.
So good.
Yeah.
I got to say one thing. Josh is the best golf coach on the planet. So if you don't play golf, you're not into golf, try one contest. See Josh's notes. I'm serious. He'd never say it, but he's a beast. And I didn't like golf like 2 years ago. I think I'm in love with it now because of Josh.
Fantasy. You went to the Fantasy World Championships last year in golf.
BobbyWOW.
Again, that's all because of Josh.
I will give golf a shot as well. I'll check it out. I got to remember that it's tomorrow, right? Tomorrow.
Yeah, so tomorrow. I got to go build lineups right now.
If you want to do some golf lineups, I'm sure Josh has notes up already.
I do.
It's so good because it's the whole weekend, right? You're making one lineup and you get to follow it the whole weekend, or you make lineups to follow the whole thing. It's so much fun. It's a different way to play.
Yep. I don't play Madden. I'm too old.
Too old.
I think I might be too. I'm not. I don't think I am actually, but I just don't.
He just mines crypto. That's all he does.
I just mine crypto. By the way, what I do, so you know, is I'm like just insanely mining crypto or doing crypto games. I got games going now.
Crypto games?
Oh my god, play to earn games.
Oh shit.
I'm in all kinds of shit.
I can't get Infinity.
Not that one. Not that one. I go for ones where you can like 10x your money. Not that is tedium. I'm not talking about that. There are insane things going on in crypto. You have no idea. I'm in a game right now called. I don't want to tout it because then it's like financial. People jump in and they're like, "You told me to." I'm not even talking about it. All I know is like I'm up like 5x my money. I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking nuts. It's very addicting. So
yes, that is what's going on with Geek's power grid. That's why he loses his internet.
I literally had to change my internet connection because I got so many miners going right now in the household. So there we go. All right. That's going to do it for this one. That's going to do it for our season. Again, it's been a great year. I want to thank you guys, Josh and Bobby, for hanging out with me. I love doing these together. Just doing the football content, all of that. I want to thank everybody who watches our shows, who signs up at DFS Army and checks out the NFL content at the very least. Like, it's so blessed in life to be able to do this and to be able to hang out with people who are awesome and just have fun, talk about gambling, talk about football, talk about all that kind of stuff. So, man, Malcolm.
Cooper Kupp.
It's Cooper Kupp, bro. It's Cooper Kupp.
Easy.
Yeah. So, no, I feel blessed to be able to do this every single year with you guys, hang out, have fun with awesome people. So we'll be around all year long. We don't stop. We keep it going. Stick around. DFS Army, we all get into whatever the fuck. We all degen together. It's a beautiful family. I love it all. So if you're not in DFS Army, get signed up. Go check it out. Come back next year. I'll be around as well, guys, doing the Bold Call Fantasy Football podcast all off season. Don't lose the Geek. I'll be around. As a matter of fact, I've already got a too soon mock 2022 mock draft planned for next week, Tuesday.
Thank
God. Doing a show.
Well, just get the Vikings. The Vikings need somebody good. Let's go.
No, I don't mean football draft. I'm talking about fantasy draft.
Oh, you're going to fantasy draft it. Okay.
2022 fantasy draft. I like to do every year right after the season ends. I like to do a quick, who's your top 12 if you had to draft today? Because what's that?
CMC's working out underwater. I just saw it on Instagram. So,
you know what?
He's number one.
He's not the number one pick anymore, though. Too risque.
No, he's not.
Jonathan Taylor's your number one pick. So, we like to do it, though, right at the beginning because you keep it fresh in your mind. That's right. I am working. But the NHL Dom Station rebuild will happen. We're working on that as well. The build request is in.
The Romanians.
The biggest, well, they're going to be Russian soon. They're Ukrainian, but
they're Ukrainians. Yeah, they got other stuff going on. The NHL.
They were Ukrainians. They're going to be Russian very soon. But it's been the late swap build. We're working late swap. We want to make sure we have it ready. We perfect the NBA version and that we have it ready for MLB. So that's taken a little bit of precedence, but it's right after it on the list. It's coming next. So we will fix up the NHL DS as well and make it as easy to use as our League of Legends and our MLB versions are. And Josh, I'm going to play a little golf. So that's all. That's all good stuff, guys. Sorry to talk too much here at the end. I'm used to I do that, but we love you all. We'll see you next season. Again, Wise Guys tomorrow, 2:00. Download the Sharp app if you want to catch that show live on the Sharp app. And of course, Friday night, live stream, lineup construction. And I think we're just going to chill on Sunday all together in Discord and talk shit as the lead up to the game. I made a lot of lineups, so hopefully we'll crush it. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Let's put my little, here we go. All right. Take care, everybody.
Yeah.